All right,
All
yeah,
right.
we'll start it off. So, I'm Matthew Cano.
I'm Matthew Barton. Together we own Still Active.
That's
Uh,
right, that's
most
right.
most of you probably are more familiar with the name Still Active Clothing. If you're seeing this, you've probably realized or noticed that we've had a name change in our Instagram and socials from Still Active Clothing to just Still Active.
Yeah, so we're doing a huge rebrand. Really happy to be here. Really happy to talk about this stuff. I mean, this is big for us to be here, so super excited to be here. Finally upgraded my equipment. We did a little rough take of this and let's just say the upgrades were needed. So, got
Yeah.
high-speed internet now, better camera, better microphone.
Long time coming here. We've kind of had this in plans for probably over a year now. We've dabbled in it a little bit here and there, trying different things out, and just came to the conclusion things aren't going to be perfect. You just got to get going and start her up. So here we are.
Yeah, for real, for sure. It's been probably, like he said, just about a year we've been meaning to do this. Finally stopped talking that talk and walking the walk, I guess you could say. But it's really important for both of us to be here and to be doing this because for the first time since we started Still Active Clothing back in 2019, we're talking in front of a camera, which, you know, pretty low key dudes, but this is essential and we really want to get the message and the meaning, the vision, where we are, where we plan on going, where we're going out to you guys. So tune
Yeah,
in.
I
It's going to be some good stuff on this episode.
get to share with you guys a little bit more behind the scenes, kind of take some of your insight in, and kind of let it drive Still Active to be whatever it's going to be. Definitely going to be a big move here from just a clothing brand to the hub, is what we're calling it.
Yeah, the hub. It's going to have a variety of things. Shall we dive in?
Yeah,
Shall we
let's
get
get
shall we
into
get
it.
the people what they've been looking for?
Let's dive in, baby.
All right, cool, cool. So, yeah, like Barton said, the hub. So, changing from Still Active Clothing just to Still Active, the hub, it's going to consist of a Still Active market, which is essentially going to be, our partners in this, people who represent our movement, the people that we feel are really killing it out there, really doing that thing. It's going to have that. Still going to have the clothing. And then we have some other stuff as well if you want to dive in on that too, Barton.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing an ambassador program, kind of taking people in. Our ambassador program is called the Movers Club. So, individuals are gonna be, representing Still Active and doing whatever they're doing, whether that's, lifting weights, fitness, music, anything really, BMX biking, skateboarding, anything that you're passionate about. So
Yeah.
we're definitely going to be looking for ambassadors and movers in the near future here. On top of that as well, we're going to be like highlighting specific businesses and individuals on top of the movers program. So those people aren't necessarily ambassadors for us. They're just people in the community that are representing our message. And we'd just like to kind of give them a little spotlight, shine light on what they're doing, their mission, their goals, their business, things like that. Hopefully, can give them a little bit of boost with advertising, branding, things like that.
Yeah. Basically, collab, cross platforms, cross audiences for sure. And I guess the only other thing is the guests we're going to have on here. So that's something that is going to be huge. I'm super pumped for it. I know the kid Barton is. Um, we really have some big shit about to go down. So,
Yeah,
going to provide a lot of value. Going to highlight struggles, highlight what it takes to do these types of things that the people we're going to have on here are doing. Some pretty incredible things. So we'll dive in on it as well. Our own struggles, our thoughts, all that stuff. We're just going to be super transparent with y'all. And, you guys can ask questions, comment on things, tell us who you want to see on here, tell us what you want to see on here. We're going to take it all in, grind it all up, and push it back out. So,
100%.
interactive type shit.
Yeah. Just showing that love and support to the community as they have for us for 4 years now. So,
Yeah, for real. It was just an idea in my little tiny hole in the wall apartment, and we came together, and it was actually wild. So, we might as well dive in on that right now. I didn't even know Barton until Still Active. Like, I had no idea. So we worked at a gym, and he was already working there, and I showed up on a shift one day, and he was training me, and that was interesting. But I show up to the shift. We're just, we had a slow period, so we're sitting there chatting a little bit, and I don't know how it came up, but it just came up about a clothing brand,
Yeah.
and we were just shooting the shit. And then we kinda just let it sit at that point for a little while, like, nothing really came of anything, like, we didn't really, like, say, like, "Oh, we're doing this yet," like, it was just like, "Yeah, that'd be something cool to do, because of X, Y, and Z," and then something just happened weeks later. We started hanging out, we had a mutual buddy, shout out Asit, and we all linked up in my apartment, and then, I don't know, I just kid was cool, and then we started working at the gym even more together, and then I just was like, "Yo, are we doing this?" And that's pretty much how it went, and the rest is history, but
Yeah. I
we
mean,
yeah, we really didn't know anything about this, to be honest. At least I didn't. Like, I was not in this realm at all. I just knew I wanted to start something to have other people be a part of and have a community type base for it.
yeah.
He had his media stuff, the photography already bumping. I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Damn, what's this about?" I was making beats at the time, Young Chin
That's,
Beats. Some of you watching this probably know that. Made a
shout
couple beats
out.
for some people. But yeah, that's
Yes,
pretty
sir.
much how it started, and it's been a long journey since then. Like he said, it's been 4 or 5 years at this point, and it's been ups and downs, lefts and rights. You name it, we've been through it. So learned a lot though.
Yeah,
That's most important.
definitely lots of learning. When we first took the leap, I think it was like 8 months straight. I would just keep going over to his apartment and we just plot for like 4 to 8 hours every single night. Shout out Allie for dealing with that.
For
She'd
real.
chime in here and there, she'd hang out.
Yeah, no, it
Definitely
was
shout out Allie.
that was such a good time, man. Such a good time. I miss that apartment. And we
Yeah,
actually lived right across the street from this place called Fratello's in Frankfort, New York. Shout out Fratello's, and the wing nights
yes,
went stupid
sir.
over there every Thursday night. We do that, go over there, have wings, and then come back to the apartment for a little bit. Around like 11:30, we'd hobble over to Stewart's because that was right next to Fratello's, and we'd go crazy with the Sundays. And some of the staff just did not like it. Like, like we were
Shout
regulars
out
for sure.
Frank.
Yeah, shout out Frank. Yeah, so we were regulars over there, and I'll never forget one night we all walk in there, and it's like only like 10:15, and they close at midnight, right? They're mopping the floors and shit. So I get it. As soon as we walk in, this dude, he's mopping the floors, and he like looks up. He's like, "Oh, you ball busters really want shakes right now?" We all died laughing. We're like, "Yup." So we got the
Yeah,
shakes, and he was just like, "Man, you guys." But anyways, to go back to it, it was a really good time. He'd come over, we'd plot. I mean plot. Like we'd sit there sometimes in just like moments of silence and just like have two notebooks, writing our thoughts down, and then we'd come together and then comment on each other's thoughts. It was super cool. I really miss
definitely.
those days, the simple
Oh
days.
yeah.
But these days are
I
fun
mean,
too.
they weren't simple back then, man. We didn't know shit. We didn't know anything. We were blind mice.
We
But
really
we
were.
we figured it out, did a lot of research, and I think we made some pretty decent moves.
Yeah, we did. And our first drop too was actually we had everything before we even made socials. Like we had the merch. I don't even know if you'd consider that merch, whatever. We had the gear for Still Active Clothing.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Upstate Merch for that. They worked with us. I mean, we were literally blind mice, like asking, oh my god, if I could pull out the email thread and only show you guys like the questions and the back and forth. I mean, their reps were pretty damn good to put up with
Yeah,
us.
because I would have had a headache if I was on their end for sure.
I mean, I had a headache and I was on my end. I can't imagine them.
Yeah,
But, they were really cool. So we got the gear and we just started like posting on Instagram, made a Facebook. We connected the two accounts, I think, but Instagram was really where it popped off for us. And yeah, we sold out of our first drop. And I don't know how
let's
long it took. Yeah,
go.
I think it was like
Not long.
maybe a month or so,
Yeah,
you know. It was really cool to see the people who supported just because they're like, oh, someone's doing a clothing brand. I know these guys. That's cool. They didn't really know the meaning. I mean, at that point, we really didn't even we were having fun with it more than anything. Like we truly were having fun, like doing random pop-up shoots with our
Yep.
friends who wanted to be a part of it. And then it just grew from there. I mean, we've met a lot of people through this that we would not have met or had conversations with if it wasn't. I'm so thankful and grateful for that. That's probably my favorite part about doing this.
Yeah.
A lot of cool, talented people.
They represent what we're pushing, and sometimes things just make sense, you know. We're not really looking for anything out of it. We're just literally looking to support and shine light on people doing what we're doing. I mean, we own a small business, so we definitely know how far just a little support goes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of to piggyback off of that is the whole community aspect about showing the support and, just being around like-minded people who are on this journey of, finding your success and the path there, whatever that means. I mean, it's changed. The idea of success for me has changed since we even started this brand. I mean, it changes often, and I'm sure that a lot of you watching this can relate to that. And it's going to change again.
Yep,
Wants
it's
change,
life.
needs change, but to be able to stay committed to something, for a long period of time without getting results, I mean, that's what's going to set you apart from everybody else. And I guess something that I want to shed light on too is I saw this, I don't even video or whatever, but it basically was a dude getting interviewed and he was successful. And I don't even remember what it was. It was just what he said that like I always remember. And the interviewer's like, "So what made you successful versus all these people who are trying to do the same thing that weren't?" And he just said, "I never quit."
Shout
And
out Hermosi.
yeah, for real. He's throwing some good stuff out there. But just never quitting regardless of what it is. And listen, it has not been easy. I mean, there's been a
Yeah,
lot of ups and downs. I mean, and I'm just gonna be real about that.
yeah, I
And
mean, and that's a blessing about, kind of having a partner in something like this. When one person's down, the other person can kind of be there, rebound your thoughts, kind of stop that spiral down. Um, it's life. Everyone goes through a lot of different emotions. Things can get overwhelming very quickly, as many of you probably know. So, staying consistent and persistent on something that's not necessarily bringing you, you know, a bunch of income at the moment, it's definitely a sign of where you're going to be in the future.
yeah, I mean, things have changed since then. I mean, we started off, you know, with a tremendous amount of support and it has not faded. I mean, it's been surreal, honestly, and it's hard for me to really describe the feeling that I feel from it. That's why I'm like stumbling on my words right now.
Yeah,
But it was super cool. Just the whole experience, how we met, how it came to be.
it's amazing, and people that have other small businesses or start little hobbies up, like they've definitely felt that you know big embrace of support from the community, and it's amazing. Especially being from a small town, I think we experience it a little bit more so than someone starting out in a bigger metro area or something like that. Everyone kind of knows everyone and everyone's there to support. Like you just launched your cleaning business, like the amount of support, it's incredible. It honestly is incredible.
Yeah, it's been wild. What's today? Wednesday? I announced this last Sunday, and I've been pretty much going to see people every day since then to give quotes and stuff. So really grateful and thankful for that, as well as starting this up. But yeah, to kind of go along with that too is just seeing when we started doing this and linking up with people and kind of getting more involved in the community, pulling up to events and things like that, and seeing the other people doing their clothing brands, podcasts, music careers, arts, fitness stuff, and just seeing them evolve as well since like we met them 4 years ago has been awesome to see. There's a lot of, I mean, and like
So
Barton said,
many.
this is like a smaller area. So to see people like really stick with it and like break the stigma of, oh, you're from a small area, like, you're not gonna you're not gonna do shit, like type thing is like super cool and like super inspiring. Like it's just like kind of like a whole cycle of just like, oh, cool, they're doing this. All right, we're gonna keep doing this, and like vice versa. And it's like, yo, shout out that person, da 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 da. Da. And we'll expand on exactly who and things on future episodes and stuff. But I guess
For
I
sure.
I think we just wanted to let you guys know how this came to be, why it came to be, and where we plan to go with it. So you
100%.
know, I think a lot of you guys have been wondering, like, all right, we get it. You guys have the brand, but you know, what's the brand what's the brand really about?
About.
You
Yeah.
know?
And things like that take time. Like when we started out, it was just a clothing brand. And as time, years, and thoughts kind of transpire, it kind of transforms along with that. And with that being said, I mean, 4 or 5 years, seeing all these amazing, talented people in such a small area, like it's actually pretty crazy the amount of people doing great stuff coming out of like upstate New York area. It's
Oh, for
it's
sure.
it actually blows my mind. Like
It
you
is.
got musicians, tons of photographers, videographers, tons of creatives, models, tons of business owners. It's actually pretty crazy. It's pretty inspiring for a smaller town, especially like a more kind of like you know.
Dude, but the craziest thing about that is a lot of people don't even know about these people. Like, they all have, like, their own, you know, niches and followings and audiences, which is sick, but, like, there's a lot of people I think would, you know, be interested in their services or what they got going on that just don't know.
Hundred
And it's
percent.
and I don't and it's and I don't know because these people market hard as hell and, like, people spread the word and stuff, but it's just there's more people here than a lot of people think. You know,
Yeah,
like, Herkimer, New York, the whole valley, like, Utica, New York, you know, all the way to Albany, Syracuse, and Buffalo. There's a lot of fucking people, and just a lot of people don't know what is actually going on. So, again, that's why we're kind of gonna start this interactive platform with you guys to help highlight those people and, you know, vice versa, because there's room for everybody to go up. And,
100%.
you know, we're really about that. So we're really hoping to just, you know, take this thing to the moon. So
Yeah, spread positivity, support, and grow together.
to highlight something else that we do on a weekly basis, we post these things. They're called SAMs, and a lot of you are probably wondering what those are and why we post them. I mean, they're really inspirational, motivational messages that we come up with, or just like things that are happening in our life or things that we think could be really applicable to you guys in both, honestly. It's still active, the essay and then the Motivation Monday, Mindful Monday, whatever you want to call it. But essentially, it's just a message that we feel is going to be valuable to you guys to help you out in your own journeys.
Some of them may be cliche too, but
They're
things
cliche
are
for a
cliche.
reason.
Exactly. It's just a tale of time. People have experienced these things, these emotions, these setbacks, and there's thoughts on them. There's ways to push through. So we're here to share those.
For sure. And it's like the things too where I feel like a lot of people think about, but it's not really discussed like openly too often.
Or in
Like,
depth, yeah.
yeah, like we wanna, like, dive in deep, you know what I mean? Like, we really wanna get into the nitty-gritty. We wanna know, like, the what, the why. Why is this
Yeah.
happening? Why do I feel like this? Or why do you guys feel like a certain way, you know? Like I said, like, let us know, like, if you have a question or you wanna have something discussed on the pod, whatever else, like, let us know, and you know, we'll talk about it. We'll get it out in the open, and we'll see what you guys think, we'll see what we think, and just take it from there.
Yeah. The best is too when you're like you hear a cliche saying that you've heard so many times, but then you hear it like just kind of in like the right moment and it just kind of clicks with you. You kind of feel warm from it. That's the best because then you're like, all right, I kind of see why that's been said so much.
Yeah, that's that moment right there for sure. That's why it's been said so much. I mean, but dude, they've helped me, and I think that they all can be applicable to you guys too in some way, shape, or form for real. Because,
100%.
you know, life ain't a walk in the park.
No, sir.
I mean, it can be, but
Yeah.
you know,
Can't have the ups without the downs, though. Can't have sunny days without the rainy days.
yeah, but how could you appreciate it if it wasn't for the rainy days? You know,
Exactly.
perspective, that's another thing. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're doing here in a nutshell. And like we mentioned before, we're gonna expand on all this stuff moving forward, way more in depth with guests and your guys' thoughts and new segments on here too. I mean, this is just the first episode. This is the beginning.
Yeah, so this episode's probably a lot right now. We're just kind of getting the getting the hang of things, spitting out kind of what we're going to be doing, the structure of things here. Every podcast, we're going to have kind of a structure and go through certain things. We're definitely going to discuss the Sam of the week every week, shine light on an individual or business. We're also going to have a question of the week.
What's the question for this week? Pull it up.
Question of the week. Who are you? Can you depend on yourself? Do you
Respect yourself.
respect yourself?
Yeah. And these are important questions to ask yourself. Take a look in the mirror and ask yourself those questions.
Write them down.
And guess what? You may not know the answer at that moment, and that's fine. Because sometimes I don't I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's real shit though. Like it's life is not a walk in the park. Like there's a lot of stuff you're gonna go through, good, bad. And you can take something from everything. But I guess the whole type of thing is like who you are. You may know it, you may not know it. Do you respect yourself? Is like when we ask that question, like my take on that question is basically like, do you respect yourself enough to hold yourself accountable, to take care of yourself, to do the things every single day, the little things that you may not want to do all the time, the discipline required to get to where you want to be? Like you owe it to yourself to get to that point, but you have to do it for yourself. So do you respect yourself enough to do that? To take care of yourself in all the ways necessary to get to that point? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you do the things you tell yourself you're going to do? Like,
Can you depend on yourself to get those tasks done, or can you not?
yeah. Call yourself out, guys. It's the quickest way for growth and change, Take action, write down the things or who you want to be, and start taking the little steps. Start taking action towards the things that are going to get you to who or where you want to be. You can't become a professional fighter if you're not training fighting. You can't become a professional musician without consistently perfecting your craft. It's just you have to take these initiatives, take these actions in order to be or get to where you want to be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's just really what it comes down to. Easier said than done.
For sure.
Listen, I've been
And
a victim of this.
yeah,
I have.
things are not going to be pretty. Things are not going to be perfect. Things are not going to be fast. But the best things are all on the other side of all those things.
Yeah, you're gonna learn something from everything. And I was actually talking to one of my sisters about this last night. These exact questions, to be honest, and it was amazing that she was able to truly call herself out. I was able to call myself out on some things, and it was a really constructive thing. So also too, find yourself a group of people who are also going to hold you accountable and be like, "Hey, you know what? You're better than that. You're better than this. Like
For
do it."
sure. It's
And
very
like I've been
important.
blessed for almost my whole entire life with friends and people who are doing this stuff that do that. They'll be like, "Hey, what's up with that? Didn't you say you were gonna do that? Like, what's going on with that?" You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool, cool. All right, yeah, you're right, you're right. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just need that check.
For sure.
And
It's
if people
very
really
important.
do it, and that's another thing too. Like, don't take it as a bad thing when someone checks you like that. It's because they care. Well,
I'd
hopefully,
rather have,
generally.
yeah, if people aren't checking on me, like they see me slacking off or, being a POS, like I want them to call me out. I want them to talk shit to me. Like otherwise I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? But obviously that also goes back into our question of the day. You kind of got to depend on yourself because, we're not always going to have people there to keep you in check.
Yeah, if not you, then who?
Exactly.
Hopefully, there's people there, but it's not always going to be like that. Like, there's the venture that I just took on my own right now, like this cleaning service I just started. Shout out McRosa. There's no one around me does that. Like, no one is like, that's something that I just decided to do on my own. There's
Yeah,
a lot of shit that I needed to learn for myself and struggles that, you know, I went through and probably will go through. I'm going to learn a lot. I've already learned a lot since I've been doing jobs and stuff like that. But there's times where I'm like, oh man, I don't really know what to do. And like, there's nowhere to turn. And like, you just have to figure it out. And hey, if you shit the bed on it, you're still going to take something valuable away from it. Like, all right, I won't do this certain thing again. I need to do this better, whatever. And feedback's important too. So yeah, really just go for it.
yeah,
And again, sounds cliche, easier said than done, but like that's really what you have to do. Sometimes you just need to throw yourself in the situation and it's like sink or swim. You know, like what are you gonna do? You gonna let
True.
yourself drown, or are you just gonna be like, whoa, what's going on? All right, all right. Let's
Gonna
figure
fuck
this out.
around and find out, baby.
Yeah, essentially,
It's the only
yes.
way, baby. We didn't talk about the Sam this week yet, did we?
No, we did not.
You want to dive into that?
Yeah, so this week is 83. So this is 83 weeks in a row that we have not missed a Sam.
Yes, sir.
This is week 83 of this. I remember when we started it, actually, I was taking a walk and this guy calls me with this idea. And, I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And ever since then, it's been that. But this week, number 83 is deal with it.
Deal with it.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Sometimes that's just what you need to hear, Just deal with it. Stick it out.
It's funny to come out with this one on number 83 with deal with it, because we've had some ones that are like more, I guess, I don't know, like more in depth than that, and like they dive in more. I mean, we have descriptions on every Sam that we discuss what that means to us and what we hope you guys can take from it that's going to benefit you.
Yeah, this one's a little more abrupt.
Yeah, it is, but sometimes it's what it needs to do. Like, something's going on in your life and it's, you know, you got the shitty card this time. You have to deal with it. I've been I'm not a victim, but like I have been I don't know. It's happened where I'm like, man, this really sucks. Like, why? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, we get it now. Get over it and change it or do something about it, or accept that you can't change it and take something from it. Like it's just, but you have to move on. You have to keep going forward, and you have to deal with it. You can't
Yeah,
run when
use
you
it.
run from shit, man. You're gonna run from something until your feet get sore, and then you're gonna fall, and then it's gonna be bad, and it's all gonna pile up on you. So,
Yeah.
which has happened to me before. Like that's it. Like that's why we're telling you guys this stuff, because all this stuff has happened to us, and it's okay. You
That's why
just
it comes
really,
through our
yeah,
minds and we elaborate on it, because things happen a lot. Doesn't matter what hand you're dealt, you just got to deal with it and figure it out, use it as you have, whether it's motivation, whatever it is, use the circumstances to your advantage.
leverage that.
Come
Yeah,
out on top. Yeah, like don't let that
dude.
control you.
Oh my God, some of my best friends did not have, like speaking of deal with it. Like one of my best friends ever, like they did not have it easy. You know what I mean? Like they really did not, like coming out of the gate. But this particular person, like, was a definition of deal with it, and really did some amazing things, and is still doing amazing things, and has a lot more amazing things to do. One of the coolest,
Nice.
most awesome guys. Maybe he will make an appearance on the pod one day. Yeah, he dealt with it. He dealt with that shit hard, and like he came out on top. To kind of show that, you know what I mean? It's like every day you wake up, you have a choice. Like you can either continue the cycle or you can break the cycle. And listen, they're both hard in their own ways. You kind of have to choose your heart. It's like you're going to suffer by staying in the shit, but you're also going to suffer by like
Getting
breaking
out of
out
it.
of it. So you really just have to like decide, like, how do you want to suffer? That's really all. It's all I can say. It's another
Things just
hands
gotta
up.
click, and then you go through it and you're just fired up and you just want to be an absolute monster, beast in every aspect of life, like physically, mentally, financially, every aspect. You just want to crush it. You have another opportunity, you have more hours in the day, like what are you doing? Let's go, baby.
24 hours. How are you using them?
Another cliche one, but I mean it's true.
I mean, shit. Yeah. I mean, we could sit here and do this all day, but yeah, that's
Very
essentially
true.
Sam number 83. What it is, what it means to us. Hopefully, you guys can take something of value from that and apply it to your own lives, and maybe get inspired. Or not.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys would just be like, yeah, this sucks, but nah. But for
Fugazi.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is, what we're about. That's everything we really want to discuss, as far as this episode goes for episode number 1.
Yeah.
And
Before we wrap up, we're gonna kind of leave off every week with a question of the week. This is something we ask you guys after it's been posted. You know, you guys will kind of comment and reply back your thoughts and ideas on it, and then we'll kind of go over it in the next pod. So with that being said, this week, who are your top mentors? Who are your people you go to for advice, keep you on track? Who's doing the things you're doing that you're trying to learn from, things like that? Let us know. Definitely interested to find out, to hear your thoughts on that, who you guys are listening to, what you guys are looking to do, things like that.
yeah, let us
And
know.
yeah, these are going to be posted every Sunday. You could find them on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All that's still active. They'll be on all the platforms. I don't know if they'll be up at the same exact times. We're still figuring that out, but keep an eye out. You know, show some support. Subscribe, like, comment. You know, all that good stuff.
Get involved. Get involved.
Oh yeah.
So,
Anything else you want to touch on, brother?
nah, not really. I think that was really everything. Mentor thing was awesome. I have a lot of mentors myself personally. Yeah, a lot of big things coming here. Keep your eyes peeled because it's just gonna be flowing. So, yeah,
Yes, sir.
keep that